Greetings, Candace Clare with Swan Sage, and I am here with more detox and drainage information, something I am really enjoying working with. And I hadn't done it a lot because I didn't know so much about it. I had worked with it, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, but this is homeopathy. But this is special homeopathy. So there's a company, Desert Biologicals, called Des Bio, and they have formulated homeopathics so that they are very effective for many people. So in classic homeopathy, you have to have long interviews. They have to be very, very exact. But this company has a lot of special things that I won't get into on this because I want to limit it to their detox and drainage kit. They have over 400 different homeopathic remedies, but this one is kind of what's close to home for me because I've just realized in my years in working as a natural wellness and health coach that really things don't work unless your detox pathways are draining properly, and it also fits very well in with my foundation of Ayurveda because that's very focused on health as far as keeping things moving properly and like eating with the season, doing cleanses. And so anyway, what I have worked with, and I'm getting great feedback from the clients who have started this, but the main thing is the comprehensive detox and drainage kit. And you can either just get this. It's got little bottles. These are homeopathic drops, and I'll explain to you how you use them in a moment. But ideally, they like to, for the first time, at least sell it with, it comes with a kind of like a multivitamin powdered beverage that tastes good. And then a supplement, which is more supportive of like the liver, and it has things that don't taste good, which is the only reason they separated those out, because they just thought, let's make the supportive multivitamin that has like, greens and fruits, and it's organic, and it's very, very supportive in doing a detox. And then the caps they're not capsules, they're actually they're pills that have, like I said, the things that really don't taste good. And because really when we're supporting the liver, many of you who have worked with me know that it's bitter is often what the liver needs to support and detox that pathway, which is super important. So anyway, that's why those two are separated out. But and they have also, when you start on this, it's called the Omni Cleanse, the Des Bio Omni Cleanse. It comes with a wonderful guide. So I recommend that everyone read through this when they get it. And what's unique about this also is a lot, and including detoxes I've done, they generally focus on like organ detoxing, which is important. Like you're going to focus on either your liver, or you're going to really work on your digestion, or you're really going to work on your lymph, and all of those are important. What this has just in it is stuff for your brain, and we need that more than ever today. So what I love, I'll go through these vials. So the first one is it's called Cerebromax, and this helps with your neurotransmitters. It actually helps with memory and emotions. And then next to that is the Spinal Max, and this is really good in flushing your spinal system. And interestingly, what I've learned about this is if people are having a hard time holding like chiropractic adjustments, this alone will help. So you could get these separately, but it's best to do these at least maybe once or twice a year as a kit. The other is matrix support, and this is kind of like all the interstitial in between areas that, and even I heard on one learning webinar that it actually even is supportive of biofilm. So that's a biggie. If you get deeper with me in the work, it's like you can maybe be doing a parasite cleanse, or, you know, any kind of like candida cleanse, any kind of harmful organism cleanse, and you might hit a wall. And what happens is these organisms are very smart, and they will build a film that all the good supplements you're taking to cleanse cannot penetrate. So I did learn that later on in my journey. There are other herbs and things that will help with that, but I love that these three are working together to really, what these are doing are just draining, helping drain these areas. So in this kit, you would take 10 drops of each of these 3 times a day for the first 3 days. Then you're going to switch to the next 3, which are the detox pathways. So detox 1 is to support your liver in detoxing. Detox 2 is for the kidneys, urinary tract. And detox 3 is the lymph, super important. And so those last 3, you'll do the same. You'll stop the first 3. So first 3, day 1, 2, 3. Now on day 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these next 3 are 4 days. You'll keep it evenly in a week. Same thing, 10 drops 3 times a day for 4 days. And then you just keep repeating that. The kit lasts almost 8 weeks. And that's the, I guess that's the prescribed way to do this. But, you know, with homeopathics, which is another thing that I am loving, is you're not going to hurt yourself. And so I have, in my continuing education, there are some people who, if they're super, super sensitive, you can titrate everything down. You can go to, you know, 5 drops 3 times a day, see how that works. On the nutritional support, because apparently I did not have the issue myself with the nutritional support, but that's detoxifying on its own. And sometimes people might get a little headache, or, you know, there's always die-off symptoms. So don't be scared of those, but you can titrate. And so you can take half dose and it's still going to work. You just stretch it out a little longer. You can even take these remedies and just, you know, alternate them, you know, every other day. So you can be really flexible with this. I won't go into that. If I'm working individually with someone, I can go into the different ways, but I think the bigger message is you're not going to mess it up. The other way that you can do these, because, and especially in my work, things have to be doable. So what you can do is you can take the homeopathics and put them in water and sip the water throughout the day. You can either do like 15 drops of each in the morning, put all of that in your water, and then 15 drops of, you know, the 3 that you're taking in the afternoon throughout the evening. And I've heard some practitioners say that's actually even stronger, because you're sort of, every time you take a sip, you're getting a hit of the homeopathic medicine. So, and you can take this along with other things, like it's not going to have an interaction, you know, with a medication. So I'm not an MD. I'm not telling you to stop anything. If you are on anything, you might have to slow down. You might see if you can wean off of things. But my point is that this is just a wonderful, very doable way to actually do a detox and drainage. Now, of course, any good cleanse is going to have a recommended diet protocol. I thought I had my glasses here, so I'll just have to, I'm just gonna have to wing it. So the diet is kind of what I recommend really with all my cleanses. Definitely you wanna stay away from alcohol, sugars, processed food of any kind. If you're having animal protein, make sure it's high quality. You know, if it's meat, like grass fed and finished, no hormones. Same with the chicken. You want it to be, you know, if you can, organic chicken or free range chicken. Lots of veggies and fruits, and minimize starches. Definitely recommended. So what this recommends is like to definitely stay away at least from day 3 to 12 from, foods that tend to cause allergies. Um, and that's going to be your wheats and your dairy. And some people have that with eggs. It's probably because they're not quality eggs, I'm guessing. But anyway, this little guide spells it all out, which is wonderful. And you can look at, sort of the do's and the don'ts. And one thing that I love that they mentioned, because Ayurveda is big on this, is watch your portions, because um, that's probably what, as this Western culture, we do tend to overeat, including yours truly, if something tastes good, and even if it's super healthy. But that's one of the most insulting things you can do to your digestive system, because it's very overwhelming. I mean, your liver is your personal chemist. And, if you put way too much down the chute, even if it's good stuff, it's going to put stress from there down. So, you want to watch your portions. If you do eat cheese, you want to eat, as clean as possible. And often, maybe just a goat or sheep's cheese, or just stay away from it for a while. But if you know your body really well, and it's like, I'm totally fine with that. When I did this myself the first time, I did not alter my diet that much. And it was, the first time I did it was during the summer in the farmer's market. And so I did eat a little goat cheese and things like that. But, the idea is just to be mindful and eat as organic as possible. Why? Because when you're not, you are just stressing your liver to have to detox what is not real. So they're very good about, spelling out the Omni Cleanse diet. Again, this is a guide. It's not, it's not black and white. So you can read it and you can, lean into it as much as you can. And then, and then you can kind of figure out like, what works for you. They offer a calendar just so you can keep track of how you're doing the homeopathic remedies. And then, and then the other thing that you could do just that. What I am really loving about this company is they have emotional remedies. So in Ayurveda, we're always working with 5 bodies. And this to me is so helpful because I've done it. Like they've got more than I can mention here. I mean, they have everything from like, if you have PTSD kind of stress, or if you need help with sleeping, or if you really have some stuck grief, or, there's an immune support. But they also have like a mental detox kit, a mental detox bottle, emotional detox, and multiple miasm. And I've heard some practitioners say they actually like to start patients on the emotional ones for a couple of weeks before you dive into the Omni Cleanse, because it's emotions can create blockages in the body that make it difficult to cleanse. And we know this from ancient wisdom. I mean, all the wonderful, like, Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine, they talk about emotions that are associated with organs. And so I'm getting a lot of good feedback from clients who, some are just doing like certain emotional ones. I mean, they have so many. They have like ones for motivation, ones for control, ones for anxiety, a lot. But again, that's kind of getting away from the container of this. Is I really recommend doing this Omni Cleanse, or at the bare minimum, the comprehensive detox and drainage kit for everyone, because it is safe and it's very effective and it's very, very doable. And then of course, if you're in my cleanse or working with me, it's so normal to run into a clearing effect. And so you might have a headache, or you might end up like not feeling great, especially if you're really entering in and you have a lot of things going on. And if you're having a lot of brain fog and a lot of that, you probably will have some, some significant symptoms come up and down. If they're doable, like when I first did it, I didn't think I would have anything. But interestingly, on the first 3, the brain, the spine, and the matrix, I always had a little headache on the second day and a little bit of a restless sleep, and then I was fine the rest of the week. And so it happened like that for most of the weeks, and I was totally functional. It wasn't like a migraine or anything like that. But if someone does get that, you can add on things. You can do Epsom salt baths. You can do coffee enemas. You can sweat. There's a lot of, you can do castor packs, which I'm very big on. So there's a lot of things, and even this company recommends those as ways to support your detox, which is what we always do. So this was kind of short and sweet, but I wanted to definitely make everyone aware. I think I'm going to be able to drop a link below that you can sign up under my practitioner account. These are not available just to the consumer market, so you need to work through a practitioner. But I can, as soon as you accept that you're a client of mine, then I can just recommend these products. You don't have to, you can just look at them. You're not, of course, obligated to buy them, but that is the way that you can get in the system, and that you can buy them, and that of course you could make an appointment with me and we can talk about different remedies. They have full-on kits for Lyme disease, for mold. That's like bigger stuff. Right now I'm just dealing with the detox and drainage, and so please reach out and definitely give it a try. Namaste.